Welcome to this week's Movie Math, where ironically, even though apes don't use money, they sure made a lot of it for Fox. And Hollywood itself was desperate for good news, as they seem to be as endangered as humans these days. Last weekend, ticket sales were down a whopping 44% from last year's 4th of July frame, and now, even with Apes, this weekend the box office is still down 24% from the same time last year. It seems the problem doesn't boil down to just one pick, but a lack of films overall. This year, only one or two big movies have come out each weekend, whereas last year there were multiple solid performers each weekend. As well as Dawn of the Planet of the Apes is opened, the rest of the top 10 are all under 20 mil apiece. In comparison, last year, Despicable Me 2, Grown Ups 2, and Pacific Rim, the latter two debuting in theaters, all pulled in around 40 million. Then behind them, The Heat, The Lone Ranger, and Monsters University were all in the tens, while over half of this year's top 10 is in the single digits. But while the rest of Hollywood has got to be nervous, Fox is surely celebrating. X-Men Days of Future Past was briefly the biggest movie of the year, Transformers 4 just passed it, while Rio 2, How to Train Your Dragon 2, Mr. Peabody and Sherman, The Fault in Our Stars, The Other Woman, and The Grand Budapest Hotel are also big box office champs, giving Fox more movies in the top 25 flicks of the year worldwide than any other studio. And Grand Budapest is even an early Oscar frontrunner, and Apes perhaps an Oscar dark horse? But even without Oscar, the success of this Apes sequel, almost 20 million more than Rise's debut, cements the return of this franchise for Fox, which the studio was very eager to revive. That's because they need franchises after losing Star Wars to Disney, which they're hoping to replace with their Marvel films, Apes and Avatar. That last one, by the way, they've placed in the hands of Apes screenwriters Rick Jaffa and Amanda Silver. And even with all this success, Fox is only about halfway through the year, with Let's Be Cops, The Maze Runner, Gone Girl, The Book of Life, Kingsman: The Secret Service, The Penguins of Madagascar, Exodus: Gods and Kings, and Night at the Museum 3 still to go. Watch out, Warner Brothers and Disney. Seems this isn't just a two-studio race after all. This is also a major win for Andy Serkis in motion capture acting, as Fox and Dawn filmmakers took a big risk by focusing the story on Caesar, a gamble that has clearly paid off. Suddenly, that live-action Dumbo movie doesn't seem so stupid, right? Yes, while motion capture has won big, this is definitely a loss for animation, as they lose more and more ground to live-action films. It used to be that animation was used to tell stories that couldn't be told in live action, but now, is there anything CGI can't do? Meanwhile, Robert Zemeckis has got to be royally pissed off. You were before your time, Zemeckis, before your time. It's also worth noting, perhaps because the movie focuses on apes, that it brought in an extremely diverse audience. 48% were Caucasian, 23% Black, 16% Hispanic, and 14% Asian/other. Sorry you have to share Asians, but I don't make up these categories. As for gender, the audience skewed slightly male at 58% and slightly older with 55% over the age of 25. Yes, it seems everyone agreed they needed a break from the other movies the summer has had to offer, which were largely left behind this weekend. Transformers: Age of Extinction took another tumble after last weekend's 63% drop to fall another 55%. Yet it hardly matters considering its overseas performance. As I noted earlier, Transformers 4, in just 3 weeks, is the biggest movie of 2014 worldwide, with 752 million, which is largely thanks to China, where Transformers 4 has become the biggest movie of all time there, with 260 million, also in just 3 weeks. Yes, China is fascinating when it comes to box office, as their big debuts actually go up in their second weekends, as Transformers did with a 31% jump. What? That's crazy! Awesome! With results like that, expect to see an increasing amount of crossover between Hollywood and China, and perhaps an increase in on-camera opportunities for Asian talent. The other notable headline this weekend was Tammy's solid second weekend hold, dropping just 40% despite delivering Melissa McCarthy's lowest debut since Bridesmaids last weekend. But the real headlines were over in the specialty market. First, Begin Again expanded to almost 1,000 theaters and broke into the top 10, a nice little bonus for Mark Ruffalo and a badly needed win for Keira Knightley. Then the showstopper was Boyhood, which opened in just 5 theaters with a very strong per theater average. Grand Budapest Hotel still holds the record for the year, but this is just the kind of debut Boyhood needed to get on the map, both for mainstream audiences and awards season. Will Richard Linklater use this success as his ticket back into the mainstream to return to his School of Rock days? Or will he try to double down and increase his indie cred even further? What do you think he should do? Is it too early to tell? Don't count your Oscar nominations before they're announced. As for this coming weekend, 2014 will finally see a crop of movies towards the top of the box office, but only in the 20 million range. But they'll be fighting it out for second place behind Apes. And that's the weekend box office. I'm Grace Randolph, and we just did some movie math. As always, thanks for watching, and I hope you'll go beyond the trailer for these other top movies.